Mica Miller, she was a 30-year-old preacher's wife. Not quite Whitney Houston-esque. She wasn't. Well, she did sing in church, but I don't think she was singing the songs on the Preacher's Wife soundtrack. But at the end of the day, near her attempted or her actual suicide, that's what has been ruled. Um, she filed for divorce from her husband at the time, the man named John Paul Miller, who's ahead of his own church. But there's been a lot of allegations, a lot of accusations of mistreatment, of abuse, of all sorts of things. He has categorically denied all of it, saying she was mentally ill. All I was trying to do was get her help. She had delusions. She had problems this way and that way. But is it all true? That's what I think we're all trying to figure out right now. It's kind of one word against the other. Joining us to discuss, Eric Faddis, defense attorney, former prosecutor. This is a weird case of unhealthy individuals that seem to have a record of not being on the on a good healthy path in many portions of their life. Uh, just as you start to dive into this one and look at it, what's been some of your initial reactions?
Well, the one thing that jumps out to me is recently there have been a lot of these allegations of misdeeds in the religious context.
Hmm.
That's something that we see time and again. And you look at even the Daybell stuff that had some association with LDS, although it wasn't the mainstream LDS at all. It was his own sort of thing.
Hmm.
But you just kind of are repeatedly seeing that these allegations of mistreatment and abuse within the church setting. And so I think that that's something that the public notices and is familiar with. And so that could benefit the accuser, but still a long way to go on this.
There is. And John Paul's not been charged with anything as of right now. There is an FBI investigation that has been initiated into this. Mica Miller, by most accounts, was on her way out. She was looking forward to getting divorced and moving on. She even had plans to possibly go to Kenya, where she had gone in the past on some mission trips, even shipping some of her stuff there uh, for that future endeavor. One of the big questions I think that comes to light in this case is the fact that, okay, it's been ruled a suicide. How many suicides have more than one spent bullet to the head being found at the scene of the crime, and including an unspent bullet as well?
That's the part that really raises a red flag. We've seen some other alleged suicides where there's like multiple stab wounds, multiple gunshots, and those are the things that are revisited because everyone sees that and says that can't happen.
Hmm.
What are you talking about? It just defies common sense to think that that's how it played out. Now, if they had a darn good medical examiner who could explain why that is, then I'd be interested to hear it. But otherwise, I'm pretty skeptical.
It doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, you don't. I mean, you bullet to the head. I don't know how you're missing. That's another part that just doesn't add up. I'm not saying John Paul did it, but it certainly the first person you're going to look at is the spouse or the former spouse of the individual who is dead under somewhat mysterious circumstances. Here's a clip of Mica Miller talking about divorce and talking about abuse just shortly before her death on social media.
I've had a lot of women that have reached out to me about situations of abuse. And I just want to tell you what a lot of people have told me. Male or female, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what gender you are. Abuse is abuse. And you are the bride of Christ. And my Bible says that he took all the abuse you could think of for you so that you didn't have to live that life of slavery and bondage and pain. So you don't have to stay in a abusive relationship, whether that's sexual, whether that's somebody forcing you to take illegal drugs or alcohol abuse or physical abuse, psychological abuse, making you think that this is all your fault, or you're a bad mom, or you're a bad wife, or you're a bad husband, or you're not giving it your all when you know you are. God hates divorce, but why? According to everybody I've asked and the scriptures that I've found, it's because it hurts people. But does abuse hurt people? How do you think God feels about that?
Shortly after that, she was found dead, and it was just days after she filed for divorce from John Paul Miller. Thoughts on that?
In looking at that video, it looks like someone who is in distress, but not someone who's ready to off themselves. In
Yeah.
fact, it looks like someone who's ready to liberate themselves, who's ready to begin a new life. And that's wholly inconsistent with suicide.
hmm The 911 call was also very interesting. Lots of people who knew Micah saying this. I mean, this does not sound like her directly. I mean, it's her voice, but it's not her delivery, if you will. Let's take a quick listen to that.
Robinson County 911, what's the address of your emergency?
Hi, are you able to trace the location of my phone?
Let me see. Don't know where you're at.
And National Park,
What's the phone number you're calling me from?
843-655-5242.
Where's the park located at?
In Fair Bluff.
Let's see.
I have my location on, I think, on my phone. Find My Phone is on. I just did my my location.
Okay, I'm showing, hold on one second. I don't think you are in Robeson County. The Lumber River State Park?
Yeah, that's where I am.
Okay. Tell me what's, happened.
I'm about to kill myself, and I just want my family to know where to find me.
Okay, ma'am. Just listen to what I'm saying, okay? Let me make sure I got the exact location where you're at, okay? Just 1 minute.
Kind of a bizarre 911 call. There's even an accusation saying that it may have been AI voice being used on that. And I don't know. I mean, the jury's out, I think, on some of these things.
Yeah, ostensibly, she sounds despondent. She sounds kind of withdrawn. There is nowadays the ever-present concern that there is that AI could have been used to manufacture something. I'm not saying that that's what
hmm
happened here at all, but I have other cases in Colorado. There's a case going on where some accuser used AI to fabricate a phone call, and it's the other person's voice, and it sounds like them, but it's not them.
Yeah.
And so, certainly further investigation needs to be done to verify the validity of that call.
Hey, thanks for checking out the video. Be sure to follow us wherever you download podcasts, and especially Apple Podcasts, where you can get advanced episode and premium content on our premium channel right there. Also, be sure to follow us on social media so you don't miss any breaking updates on the stories that matter to you most. We're on TikTok, X, Instagram, Facebook. Just search Hidden Killers Podcast with Tony Bruschi, and you'll find us right there. Again, thanks for watching.